also I know from you that the way also you teach us the way how we can work this exam, and I really advise that trust on the way that Dr. Peter asks you to think and choose every answer. And for the people who hasn't passed the exam yet, I really want to say don't give up. Just study as much as you can. As you know, this written exam is not a really fair exam, and you need to just study smart, especially for me, because it was the first attempt for me. And actually I didn't have enough time, so I just focused on some references that Dr. Peter mostly focus and ask us that to be focused and don't confusing with lots of references. And in the first step, I just want to stick to TG. TG, and TG. TG is very important reference, and you need to study TG at least 4 to 5 times. You need to totally overwhelm in TG to know and get the Australian dentist concept. And the second reference is that I think it's very important is this example, infection control. Infection control guideline is very important, and it's totally useful and practical reference based on the infection control guideline. You can easily answer all the questions in the March exam. All of the infection control question was new. And about ODEL, I just read the important case of ODEL, and mostly I stick to the diagnostic test and diagnostic part of cases. And I didn't have enough time. Just one time I can review ODEL book. Well, and about articles, I think two type of articles was very important for us. Carries risk assessment is really important, and it's need to review carries risk assessment because this concept was very new for me as a dentist. And another article was the trauma. Trauma is very important article. Other articles, I just have a quick review, but in this type of article was very important, and I reviewed them 2 or 3 times. For a compile file and recall question of the previous exam, especially compiled file is very important, especially for me, because it was the first attempt for me. So compiled file and scenario cases give me a good view of the scenario cases, because it was the first time that I attending the exam, so I must before that in advance I can guess and imagine what cases could be in the written exam, and what type of cases is important for them, what concept is important for them, that I can get this concept from compiled file. And for the last advice, I would suggest you to read compiled file carefully and discuss with each other in the study groups to understand every scenario. And reading in groups is very important. Yeah, and if you have any question, or I can finish, or do you have any question about a doctor or any candidate? If I have any question, I can answer the question.
Of course. Thank you, Dr. Fatima, for your review. Did you expect your score? Did you expect that you would have 4 A's? This is
Uh,
my final question to
actually,
you.
yeah, actually, for this exam, I I I firstly my goal was to get 4A. So honestly, yes, honestly, I make the goal that I want to give 4A of ADC exam. Yes,
Amazing.
but
And you made it.
but after attending the exam, I really disappointed. Wow, and I was really sad. That's it's a tough exam for me.
Yeah.
And when yes, and when the get receive and receive the result, I got shocked that what I planned for that, I finally get that I planned for that, because I planned for that.
Your story is really positive and very motivating
Yeah. Yes.
because you strived for 4 A's and you did it, and this is really amazing story. I have been
Thank you.
always telling people that your goal should be 4 A's since 2017 when I
Yeah,
started this journey. I have been always
yeah,
telling people your goal should be 4 A's. I understand that at that time it was C was a pass, B was a pass,
yeah,
and A as well. But nowadays, as you know, since the new pattern, A and B are considered a pass. So
yeah,
your goal should not be B, should be A. When you focus on A,
yeah,
most probably you will get A, or at least you will get
yeah,
B, but you will not get C. This is
yeah,
this is how
yeah,
we should think about an exam, about a tough exam like this. Thank you,
yeah,
Dr. Fatima,
really.
for your review, which
Yes,
is very
finally,
beneficial.
just yeah, finally, yes, finally, I want to say thank you
Thank
so
you very
much,
much.
Dr. Peter, and good bless you.
God bless you too.
Yes, I want to say Hafizakumullah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you
Yes,
so much.
it's final Arabic. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
final Arabic.
Thank you.
Thank you
Okay,
so
thank you, Dr.
much.
Fatima.
Bye.
Thank you for your
Yes, best wishes for all. Yes,
thank,
best wishes for all.
thank
Thank you.
Okay, let's hear another story from Dr. Henry. Dr. Henry, we need to listen to your story about your success.
Yeah, good evening, Dr. Peter. Good evening, colleagues. Yeah, thank you for having
Good
me on.
evening.
Congratulations to everybody who passed. And yeah, I can only add what just Fatima said, and I don't want to repeat it, it's always correct. But from my experience, I would like to add something. Um, I've definitely been one of the oldest of this group, and I failed the exam in the past. What does it mean? I've been dentist for 28 years, 22 years oral surgeon in Europe, and I'm proud what I achieved. And I learned with Dr. Peter, no, experience doesn't count anything, be humble and start over again, which I didn't do in the past, but I didn't have Dr. Peter as my mentor. So experience means really nothing, because the concept of ADC is very, very different. We in Europe do different dentistry. It's the same human body, we do different dentistry, and the marks are very different here. What does it mean on the other side? The other side means you can be a fresh graduate in India and pass the exam because you don't have to have any experience. It's a good thing. Just stick to the program and the progress and the process Dr. Peter provides. And my advantage, to add on Fatima's explanation, is I had different tutors before I failed. I can really say Dr. Peter knows the subject, and he interferes with every subject in the way ADC wants it. The tutor who said, stop eating, stop drinking, divorce, get divorced, neglect your dog, study 10 hours a day, and this is the most important thing in the world. And once you pass, everything will come back to you, your wife or your husband, which just get divorced. This is all nonsense. ADC is important, but it's not the most important thing in your life. 10 hours a day, I'm working still full time, consultant for one of the biggest companies in the world for implants. So I can't study 10 hours a day. So this is nonsense. Work, work, play, play, as the saying goes. Take your time, study smart, study hard, get the right tutor, and you will pass. Even as an unexperienced new colleague, you will pass. But you have to have the right mindset, the right tools, and this is given by Dr. Peter. And yeah, I went with him and I said, explained to him the story, and he said, with me you will pass. And I passed with 3 A's and 1 B. I'm very, very proud of this. And at the end, it was a little bit of an ego trip because I thought, at some point I have to pass this because I've done so much dentistry in the world and I can't pass this here. It works, but you have to stick to the program Dr. Peter provides, and then it will work. Thank you very much again, Peter. It was a pleasure, the ride, and yeah, all the best for the candidates who had to sit it again. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Henry, for your review. Another amazing review from your side. Actually, I understand you are as you told me, you were overwhelmed with so much work, study, and of course, it's really tough that when people have their different relationship, their commitments, and so on, and however they have such a tough exam. So when I find somebody who is having all these issues and pass the exam, even after so many times, this kind of commitment is amazing. This is very inspiring to me myself. Okay, because some people just give up from the first attempt and they say, I'm just done with this exam. I cannot proceed. However, suppose you are in Australia, you have passion for your career, and you just want to practice dentistry. So I don't think the best idea that anyone to give up his or her dream. Thank you, Dr. Henry, for your wonderful feedback. We would go over or with another passer of last March exam. So, Dr. Angela, please proceed with your feedback about the success. Yes?
Hi, Peter. Hi.
Hello, Angela. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Well, first of all, I would like to thank you, Peter, for all your support. I think it was pretty valuable for me and for my process. In my case, that was my second attempt. The first time I was studying by myself, and it was not enough to. I got 2 C's. This time it was not the best score, but I'm pretty happy with the result. I got 4 B's, and it was so hard, to be honest. I am a mom.
Yes.
I moved to Australia 1 year ago, and I'm living with my husband and my daughter. I'm working full-time as a dental assistant now. So it was pretty hard just juggling with the time and trying to get through all the documents Peter was sharing us. And I've been reading the TG 4 times as well, the infection control twice. And I was reading that for the previous exam well a couple of times. I found pretty valuable all the classes we got in order to understand how the exam works. Like for the first time, I got a lot of doubts in terms of all the information gathering. I was not confident in order to make the decision which test was good enough for each case. it was not too clear in my mind. I was thinking, like, when I was reading through the exam, I was like, this is important and this one as well. So it was so hard for me for the in the first exam. But I think that PETA gave us the most important thing was just allowing us understand the exam, how the exam works, and all those tests, we can go through them depending on the diagnosis we are thinking about. I think was so important for me in my case.
If I just want to ask you a question, Angela,
Yeah,
please. How do you think about being selective of the subjects? Like when we were studying, for instance, in Cameroon, we are just studying specific chapters. We are not studying everything about the whole book, like study this book, study that one, and so on. How did you find this selective method of
I think
study beneficial to you
I think
personally?
I think what's pretty good. I think not only Cameron, I would say Malamed and Lange,
Langlais, Langlais.
Lang, and all of those books you shared us, but with specific chapters. I found them so valuable. I think all of them were so useful, and it's the most important things from each of them. So I think that was enough with the compiled file and the TG, obviously, and infection control, and all the specific cases you share us from Odell. I found them valuable as well. I think that was enough. The most important thing, I think, is it is important to go through all the documents you are sharing us, because if we don't have time enough to study and to read all of them, it's going to be more difficult. I think it has been useful for me being prepared by you, but if I weren't read all the documents, if I had not read all the documents, probably I wouldn't pass the exam again. So it is important to attend the classes and read all the documents. Although the time is tight, sometimes I just want to encourage everyone in terms of we need to find, to set a schedule to help us, like, push ourselves to study, especially when we are too busy. I used to wake up pretty early in the morning before going to work. I was studying when I was on the train, when I was towards the work, and back to my home when I was on my way to go back to my home. And I was studying after, as soon as my daughter was on bed, I was studying again until the mid of the night. And then the next day, again, the same thing. And I was talking to my practice manager, and I was like telling her I really need more time to study. And we set plan to have one day off weekly. So besides of the time I was spending daily. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with the result. I still cannot believe it, to be honest. I think that it
Yeah.
was so hard for me in terms of the language. And I really want to say thank you to everyone, because I've been learning a lot, not only from PETA, but from all of you guys, with all the things I was listening into the classes, and all the information we shared through the different groups. I found them
I am
valuable.
myself, Angela, sorry for the interruption. I myself learned from you. Not only you learned from me, I learned from you. This is not, I'm not just humble, but this is the truth. We are learning every day. Anyone who tells that I'm done with learning, he or she has a real problem in learning process. So because learning process is unceasing process. This is the wisdom after I'm 42 years now, so I can say this with full mouth that the learning process is unceasing. So I'm happy that you made your success, although of all the struggles or the issues, all your life. However, you were able to make another success story. Thank you for sharing your story, Dr. Angela.
Thank-
Dr. Heba, our next passer. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you, Peter. Thank you.
Dr. Heba, I would ask you like a
Yeah,
personal
go on.
question from my side or about
Yes,
me.
go on.
How did you find me professional in dealing in different aspects? How did you find me? I have to ask a personal question about me as a
Yes.
professional. How did you find this point specifically?
So for me, my experience with you. So I was with another tutor 3 years ago, and I was behind the score you can imagine. I was like, this is the previous system. It was the I was D and E. So something wrong, and I felt it. It's not right to continue in this with this tutor. So I had contact with you before, maybe 7 years ago or something like that, before I came to Australia.
6 years ago.
6 or 7, something like that.
I remember everyone who when contacted me, by the way.
Yeah, and then I came back to you, and you welcomed me, and I just told you what happened with me and how these scores are very bad, and it's not you know indicating the efforts I did in studying in that time. So you was very encouraging in I think it is three years ago, and you gave me the hints how to think about the question in the exam, how to solve the riddle inside the question itself. It was very beneficial for me how to read the question itself and how to think about it. So the next time I was in the exam, I got A, B, and C. So I focused on the C, and the other exam, the next exam, I think it's March, September. So I got A, B, and another C in another cluster. So it was like what is
rotating.
happening?
It's rotating.
Yeah. Yes, it's rotating, and it's not. I cannot, catch it. I cannot say I did wrong in these questions, so I failed this cluster because of that. And I was like giving up and trying to make another thing in my life. So I applied for another study, and then you asked me, "Are you going for this March exam?" And I told you, "No, I'm not going." And you were, "No, just try again." And I was like thinking, no, I don't want to be disappointed again. I
asked you a
had,
friendly question. Try it again.
yeah, and that made me why not? I hate to be I hate be the failing feeling itself. It's very bad. I had never been in a failed position. I'm always like in the A's. I had the license in the UAE twice, and everything. It was like disappointing for me, disappointing for my family. So I gave it another try, and I have the A, and the B. So I don't know. I cannot tell you what's wrong inside the exam, but I'm feeling like it's a challenging one when you are reading the question and trying to you know, I'm anxious, and I think I failed the exam because I lacked anxiety.
Anxiety.
Yes, when I see a question which I don't know, or it's maybe the English had a strong word or something I don't understand, so I got anxious, and I, you know, I lose the time, and I lose my self-management inside the exam. So I focused on this point, how to stay calm all over the exam, after the exam, in between the exam. So for you, you are the, I can say, the I like your spirit in pushing me through this journey. I was like, when I have doubts, I just send you a message. I'm not, I don't like this option to be the right answer. What do you think? And we have this till everything is settled down, and I know you are right. So I love this interaction, how you are very, you are experienced, you have open-minded, I can say. You don't make anything like an insult. When I am telling you I don't like this answer like that, I'm thinking it's another one. So you are open to discussion. It's not like no, it's like that. Even if sometimes you told me, if you have a reference, just send to me and let's discuss it. So I like that. So I'm comparing with my previous experience with another tutor. I wasn't that comfortable, like talking to him or just asking for help or something. I think it's all about money, but this personal connection between me and you personally gave me the feeling that I'm important, and
Yes.
and
Being
you want me.
being important as a human is very important, not just about
Yeah,
student and mentor.
you kept pushing. You kept pushing me. So when I'm just silent, you are sending me message. What are you doing now? What did you study? You know, I like that. I like.
So I did not oppress you or anyone at any stage. I did not
No,
practice any kind of oppression, you see?
no, 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 no.
Oppression
It
is
was like
terrible.
it is.
Even let me tell you the truth and tell everyone. If I know myself that something I do which is wrong, and I'm going to pass after doing this wrong thing, I'm not going to do it. I remember in my clinical exam, it was like this in 2015. Some people just violated the infection control. They told me after the exam, they violated actually the infection control and they passed the exam. I did not violate the infection control, and at that time I did not pass the exam. However, I was, I did not break my values. I did not break what I believe in. You see, this is very important. It's a mindset. It's a mindset that you don't break the rules, that you don't break the law, that you don't break your values, what you believe in. You see, this is very important. Thank you, Dr. Heba, for your feedback.
Thank you all.
Another story of success. Being transparent, everyone. I recommend every one of you, as I'm recommending myself all the time, to be transparent. Always be transparent. This is what would counts. This is what count. Okay, to be transparent with people. Hiding facts, hiding realities. This will not remain for a long time. Everything would be exposed. So it's very important to be real with yourself and with the others. Thank you again, Dr. Heba, for your feedback. I think I have to send you, every one of you, I would send another link. Please, everyone, join the session again. We have some other stories and we need to listen to. Please, everyone, join the session again. Thank you.